12,850 pounds, a beautiful new 372, or you might call it a 373 Montana High Country, just rolled in here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. The only difference between those two numbers just being the refrigerator. This is essentially the High Country offset to the very popular 3790 or 3791 Montana luxury fifth wheel with that sliding rear tray. Obviously, you can see they incorporated that feature into here, and it makes this thing really like the towing and going version of a 3790 Montana. It'll come in, you know, closer to 12,000 pounds rather than closer to 14,000 pounds. It has the same 10-foot sliding tray on the back as the 3790 Montana, but they did something a little different here that I think is pretty clutch. First of all, they have a ridiculous amount of structure in here, but secondly, you see that notch cut out of the front area there? That's an extra, say, 1.5 or 2 feet or so of space that makes this ideal not just for 10-foot kayaks, but the bigger adult-sized 12-foot kayaks as well. And along with the reduced weight as compared to big luxury Montana, the High Country series here, this is a good example of why I call the High Country series a traveler's Montana. Because this design, this one slide kitchen design, does some very good things that we're going to talk about more in depth as we go. But you see that it gives you very easy access, like no nonsense, simple access to your refrigerator. It's kind of just staring you dead in the face, along with virtually all the kitchen cabinetry. Now, you do have a big pantry that you cannot access with this slide closed, but I mean, as long as you're halfway intelligent about how you pack this thing, you have so much cabinet storage available and all of your kitchen counter space available in transit. And of course, your bedroom and your bathroom. That's an absolute non-issue here. But by not having opposing slides on an island, you make this one much, much more traveling friendly. So compared to the 3790 RD, if you're looking to tow and go, I think you should look at this 378 High Country right here, or 370, whatever this number is. Too much alphabet soup in this business. Now you could also really compare this very nicely to a 366 RDS Cougar fifth wheel like you might find here at Haylett RV. This is kind of the this picks up where the Cougar leaves off, because this is that step between the Cougar and the 3790 Montana that I mentioned outside. It's kind of the Cougar on steroids. So it's a high profile. We've got that elevated rear living with that excellent storage tray in the back. But it also does a couple things under the skin that are easy to miss. And these are things that I've forgotten to talk about on a lot of Montanas in the past. Whether it's High Country or Big Montana, your main air conditioner is going to be a 15,000 BTU whisper ducted air. And that's cool, but it also has a 16,500 BTU heat pump on it. So in conjunction with that 5,120 BTU space heater down there, you've got like roughly what, 22,000 BTUs of electric heating that is bonus heat that's propane free. That's a pretty cool thing right there, if you ask me. Now, this is very similar to a lot of rear dens or front living room arrangements where you have the dual opposing high-to-bed sleeper sofas with that rear TV, with a theater seat right here that directly faces that TV, obviously, for easy viewing. Now, we've got a nice full walk-in height area here, and you've got airflow windows galore. All 3 sides of the slide boxes for both sofas will be airflow windows, as well as this big sofa side window right here to really let in just a flood of light and a flood of airflow. Now, this TV is on a swing arm mount, so if you do want to pivot it around to face like the theater seat and one of the sofas on the side for a more social seating engagement, you can do that. But of course, one of the benefits of this floor plan is that we maintain an excellent amount of guest sleeping capacity in a couple's luxury fifth wheel. And just like that, we convert into stealth mode. We've got all the night shades drawn here, so you can see you've got incredible privacy here. And having both the valances and the lambrequins blocking in the sides of those is nice. Now you see right there how those shades actually extend down past those. It's actually past the window. They extend past the window, so you don't get that little sliver of light stabbing you in the eye. It's amazing. That beam of light can travel for millions of miles and somehow still sneak through my curtains at night, or in the morning, and stab me right in the eyeballs. So it's cool here. We've got a couple's RV, but we're sleeping for, an easy +2, if not up to 4 guests. From here, I want to take a look at this theater seat that we're kind of peeking over currently. But I mentioned it earlier, but I kind of glossed over it quickly. That is an electric space heating, quote, fireplace, by the way, with a nice little remote control, so you don't have to, necessarily get up or down to monkey with it. Now, to give you an idea, I don't know, 6'2", 3", wearing a hat, wearing boots. Plenty of room up here. This is like a 6.5 foot tall upper deck ceiling. So it gives you plenty of room in this, and it's the same height as your bedroom and bathroom deck, and that has obviously worked for Montana as the #1 selling luxury fifth wheel for the last 17 consecutive years. I'd say they got the sizing pegged on this sucker. So this is a power theater recliner, and one of the nice things about power reclining is that with the ripcord manual style, it's either closed, bam, or open, nothing in between. But a power recliner, you can really find that sweet spot, and it's nice sometimes you can find that angle that just takes the pressure off your legs and really, really lets you relax. Now, quick note too, if I stand right beside them, if those hide-a-beds are open, and you do want to kind of get up in the morning, or you want to kind of chit-chat, or maybe you're reading a story to the grandkids, I don't know, you can still walk up through here. You got about 12 to 14 inches of space between the seat of the theater seat here and when that hide-a-bed is open, so that you can, if you do want to get up and use this seat, you can. Man, that is a big window. Now, speaking of big, this thing has awesome kitchen cabinet storage space. This has one of the best kitchen arrangements I think exists in fifth wheels. Everybody goes crazy when you have an island in the kitchen and whatnot, but it is my personal belief that this is one of the best kitchen layouts they've really ever come out with. Starting over here in the slide, we've got our freestanding dining arrangement, which is going to be very comfortable. Again, for couples camping, although you see you've got the 4 chairs, and we do have the little extension leaf on here, so if we do want to extend that out and get us some guest space, you can. And they gave us some great visibility, some great cross breeze windows all around this seating as well, and I do like that little. It's not expensive, but that's the cool thing about the high country Montana. They're really good at doing things in a very effective and sometimes less expensive way, but it never looks cheap or scaled down or anything like that. Now, the 372 even number has a RV fridge that's gas and electric. It will automatically change over from electric to gas mode in the event of a power loss. It's also, you can run the propane system going down the road unless you're on a ferry or in a tunnel. There's only a few specific times where you really can't do that. What we like about this versus the 373 with the electric fridge is, again, that auto changeover. So that if you do lose power, or if you choose to do some off-grid use or anything like that, the electric-only fridge, the house batteries are not going to last terribly long. That propane, you can run an extremely long amount of time with that. Now, this storage wall over here, this is awesome. The amount of pantry space that you have going on here, you see it goes like right up to the ceiling, and I like how they really trimmed it out on top to make it like a ceiling accent sort of like feature in a way. Now, there is motion sensitive lighting in that pantry there, so when you open the door and start reaching in, it'll kick on for you. And I think that this bottom area here, I think could easily be used as a handy little shoe garage. I think that, there's a little closet area not too far away. You could kick your shoes off there and then be able to kick them on and hop right out the door. And I love the little entry stand here. It's kind of got sort of a little desk arrangement going on, but it's sort of like that little bureau, next to the door at home, perhaps, that you have, where you walk in, you can set down your keys, set down your phone. Now, you notice that the backsplash back there, that's there for a few reasons. One, if you just walk in and toss stuff down, it'll help protect the wall. But two, this is ideal as a little, coffee station. And they really kind of give you the ability to do both a coffee station and a phone station by having this nice little pocket here with an extra set of household outlets kind of tucked away. So you've got great cabinet, great pantry storage, as well as the ability to have a cool little coffee area. Now, this thing right here, this is basically there's a router that you can attach to it if you're interested. In the meantime, though, you can always use it as a signal access point, and it does have a little USB plug on there for charging as well. Now, you see you've got a switch over here for the Max Air vent fan that is right above our head, because if we are cooking up a storm, you're going to want to exhaust a lot of that heat. Plus, this also has a handy rain sensor on it, which is a welcome addition on a rainy day, kind of like it was earlier today. Now, the skylight up top letting in a lot of natural light, although if it is just screaming hot outside, you can pull the sunshade shut to block a lot of the sun and the heat. But this, let me back up, because there's just a ton of overhead cabinet storage in this kitchen. And this is one of those like really underappreciated facets of this floor plan. That big double set of triple shelved overhead cabinets. Now it's very tall. You might need a 2 or 3 step stool to get to it, but the fact is it's there. If you want to pack heavy and get out and go, this is a floor plan that can do it, in addition to the big pantry that we've already seen. Plus, we've got the convection microwave over here these can cook faster and introduce less heat into the RV. And we've got great countertop prep space here. And between the flush mount sink and that recessed stove with that glass top cover, and you've even got that little serving station on the back there. It's kind of a sort of a sink backsplash. It's kind of an elevated serving area, whatever you sort of want it to be. It can be. I mean, you've just got a ton of prep space here, and that big window gives you a good view of your campsite. Now, down below, we've got easy access drawers here in the kitchen. That's another thing that some RVs will sometimes miss, is easy drawers in the kitchen with all sorts of maximum space below. Again, one of the benefits of not having the kitchen in the slide is that there's nothing mechanical that they have to work around. It's simple, it's easy. And if you're looking for like big pots and pan space or a huge wastebasket, you got all kinds of room back in that counter. Now you've got double stainless sinks, but one of them is way oversized like a farm sink, so that if you do have big pots and pans you want to clean in here, or maybe there's a little baby that you're watching for the weekend or something like that. A little sink sponge bath for the baby. Very simple and easy to do right here. I'm trying to think, have I missed anything? I don't think I have. From here, let's head our way upstairs. So I mentioned how the lower section of that pantry could be something like a shoe garage if you want to kind of keep the clutter out of the RV. And then I mentioned how there was a closet not too far away. Right as you walk in the door, we have a handy little coat closet, and this is also where you're going to find your centralized control panel. All the really important bells, whistles, and buttons and switches and things you don't want the littles to get their hands on, they're hidden up here, especially things like the holding tank heaters and whatnot, or like your water pump or your water heater. That stuff's all in there and protected. Now you've got motion lighting in the pantry, motion lighting here. There's motion lighting in the hallway below me, so that'll kick on down here just as you're going up and downstairs, so you don't slip and fall and kill yourself, because you know, that's good for owning an RV for a long time, is not dying, statistically anyway. I don't know, I'm not a math. But there's also motion lighting in that closet, in the washer dryer area, all over the place. But before we get there, we've got the, I call it melts in your mouth, not in your hand sort of bathroom door. It just sort of folds out of the way. And what's nice is whether you're coming up from downstairs where I just came from or coming from the master bedroom, either way, it's very simple and easy to get in here. Now, this Montana has the same bathroom that was first popularized in the 330 RL Montana. It is 43% larger. So we start with this big fiberglass shower here, one-piece seamless enclosure, and in case you don't want to have to, slip in sideways to get past the toilet into the shower, you can get in right here. So you can literally jump up and down and stomp in this thing and you won't hurt it. And we have great dedicated linen storage in here. You've got about 6.5 foot tall of dedicated linen space, and it's such a smart use of space because you notice how the linen cabinet, it's deep enough, but it's not too deep. That's because that coat closet and your switch panel's on the other side of that wall. Smart stuff. Now, as we turn around here, you get to see that this has this really cool double lavatory, which is fancy talk for a double sink sort of setup here. And what this offers you, and that's a pressed membrane countertop there, by the way, so if you do happen to be splashing water around, no harm, no foul, you're not going to damage anything, with all kinds of drawers and storage below, including the ability to have a wastebasket on both sides of the sink. That's one of those things, just I'm so accustomed to having a wastebasket under the sink that we kind of had to rearrange our cabinets at my house to accommodate that. So each person has their own vanity, each person has their own mirror, their own sink. Very handy for couples who maybe like me, like, I don't know about you, but when I wake up in the morning, I'm grumpy. It takes me a while to get up to speed and be this plucky little video nerd that you guys watch all the time. I'm a grumpy person in the morning, so I like to have my space in the bathroom. Now, speaking of space, you got all kinds of space to stretch out and relax here in this bedroom, because this is a 70 by 80 king bed. Technically, that's an upgrade. I'll be shocked if you ever find a high country Montana without it, other than the 362 or 380, because they're, required. You can't do a king bed in those. Now you've got that shiplap accent wall, dual breeze, side windows within the slide box, and little side stands within the slide box. So if you need to set down your phone or a CPAP user or something like that, you can. And there are power outlets right next to the slides on both sides of the bed. There's even lights in that slide I forgot to turn on. You also have an optional second air added to this. Now, in years past, that was a 13,500 BTU, but they have since updated this to a 15,000 BTU second air. So this RV has a dual centralized 30,000 BTU air system, which is pretty awesome if you ask me. So you have, they actually made this a two-section sliding glass, mirror door for the shower, for the closet, just like the shower. That's why I had shower on the mind, so that it opens as far as it can to get out of the way to give you easy access here. Now, a really key note that a lot of fifth wheels will miss is that this is a carpetless upper deck, so it is a little easier to keep this clean here. And I know that some people do like a little bit of carpet in the bedroom at night. You know, if you get up, you don't want cold feet going to the bathroom. But at the same time, the bathroom area is never going to have carpet. That's always going to be linoleum. So just having pure linoleum up here, to me at least, makes a little more sense. Plus, I don't know, grab a pair of slippers. Not that hard. Now, if you don't need it, this is just a, for washer dryer space, it's just a huge extra, cabinet over here. Big old linen cabinet, or, what do I want to say, wardrobe, whatever. You get the idea. Any of those clothing words. But you could put a combo or stackable washer dryer in there. This is set and ready for a stackable if you're so inclined. Now that door for that washer dryer area is kind of blocking a big window over there. But one of the things that I do like is that you always have the second TV standard in any of these big Montana bedrooms. And you also have a little bit taller dresser. You see the two drawers on top. That's a little extra space they put in here that it seems like more and more brands have begun to shrink down their bedroom storage. If you go and look at classic fifth wheels, this whole wall used to be nothing but storage. And I don't mind the addition of that window there, but I do still want to have as big of a dresser as I possibly can, and they have provided that here. I mentioned it a few times when we were inside, but one of the things I like about not having opposing kitchen slides is that you have more space over here for a bigger, unobstructed patio. Unfortunately, we're just too darn close to the other Montana next to us, which also has a pretty awesome unobstructed patio space, being the 380 or 381 Toy Hauler Montana. So if what you're looking for is a ton of outside patio area, these two things are kind of like, they're just shades of gray apart from one another. And I get a chance to back up here, I'll try to sort of show you what I mean. So, as part of their 20th anniversary package, Montana is celebrating 20 years in business, and after year number 3, they've spent the last 17 consecutive years as the #1 selling thing in their class. Terribly impressive. You've got the Dometic power channel right here, built right onto the awning arm. So when the awning comes out, the channel will kind of face like downward like this. And there's all kinds of little lights and fans and different attachments that you can slide in there. Down below, of course, we have the huge cavernous pass-through storage compartment. We go from a 12-inch down to a 10-inch I-beam frame, and more of that motion-sensitive lighting over here, and those are outside TV hookups as well. Now, you might note a couple things. We've got the nicer slam latch door here, along with a double magnet holdback. But Montana still puts these little silver knobs on the end of their doors. Why are they doing that? And the answer is, in super high wind country, there are some people who occasionally it is possible for a little bit of wind to get under that baggage door. It's hard, but it is possible. So what Montana does is they go ahead and pre-prep their door for a gas strut. If you are in high wind country, you can make sure that door's not going to fall and hit you on the head. Now, Keystone, being the largest producer of laminated RVs pretty much on the planet, and by far and away the #1 producer of fifth wheels out there, they have the ability to have bigger facilities, more facilities, better facilities. Like, they own their own paint shop, and they literally just they bought the old Newmar diesel pusher full body paint shop to use exclusively for their nose caps. They paint so many nose caps, they needed an entire diesel pusher shop to do it. But what's cool is because they do everything internally, and they don't have to outsource and export anything to a third-party company, they can include things like the paint on their nose cap in their 3-year structural warranty. And that's a cool thing about Keystone, because they do everything in-house basically, or as much as they reasonably can. They can include more things in their warranties for extended peace of mind. Now, something I also rarely talk about on Montanas, whether it's big Montana or high country, your sidewall cuts are all machine precise. All Montana Fusion and Impact sidewalls, actually, the toy hauler Keystone, they go through a CNC routing machine instead of being hand routed. There's nothing wrong with the hand routing guys at Keystone. They generally do a fine job, but now we have that extra level of precision, which is one of the reasons why they are able to put full-time RVing warranties on their Montanas. Now we have a 6-point automatic leveling system here, and especially having that middle jack, jacks number 5 and 6 adds so much stability to this RV when you are set at your campsite. Now, before we get into this private docking center, down below you might spy a little sewer hose caddy, and it's just another one of those neat little Montana extra things where they're helping you just keep your yuck storage separate from your nice storage, I guess you could say. Now down here, the private docking station, it's all enclosed, protected. All your gate valves are heated. More motion lighting in here. That top thing there, this guy right here is an outside utility shower with removable sprayer hose. Key TV is something that Keystone has recently pioneered so that you no longer have to have that antenna booster switch. Basically, the system will detect what you're trying to throw at the TV and it'll tune in accordingly. Simple battery disconnect, we got a simple side mount solar prep, and everything is just clearly, simply, and easily labeled so that, whatever you want to do, whether it's winterize, on or off, water heater, bypass, on or off, it's just not complicated, and that's one of the things I like about these. I also like that really snazzy high gloss skin that they have going on here. If I had hair to comb, I could potentially comb my hair in the reflection of this Montana. So this is kind of where we began our tour. Outside is over here on this hill. Normally I begin on the front, but I think on the exterior, this is really the thing that's going to catch a lot of people, because again, before, if you wanted this sliding storage tray, you had to look at either a 3790 or 3791 Montana, and it's a beautiful rig. We are very successful with them here at Haylett RV, but it is larger, it's heavier, it's more money. Well, there's a lot of people like, man, I really like that thing, but I'd like it to be a little more in line with my target budget, and that's where this one comes in. Again, this is that missing link between a Cougar 366 and a luxury Montana 3790. It fits in, it's the mama bear to the baby bear and the papa bear. But we saw earlier, but I do want to circle back to just all of the huge storage space that they have here under that elevated rear living. So we've got that awesome MORryde 10-foot sliding tray right here, and this is actually a bigger version of what you might find in the basement of like a diesel pusher. And all of the structure that they have in here, it's like what is that, 16 inches on center, maybe a little less, I'm not sure. I haven't hard measured it, but they have just space and structure galore in here. But you can also put all kinds of big, weird shaped fishing pole type stuff in here. And again, that cutaway notch in the front area, that's going to be great for folks who have maybe a little bit bigger kayaks, where something like this 10-foot tray, like I'm a 200-pound-ish kind of guy, and I don't know that a 10-foot kayak is quite appropriate for my size. It might keep me above the water line, but I don't know, my hips might be getting a little wet. And what's nice back here is they treat this rear door exactly the same as those big pass-through doors. You have the same double slam latch, the same double magnet catch, fully insulated, fully laminated baggage door, so that you don't have a thermal gap, a huge giant thermal hole in the wall of the RV. You also have sealed protected hinges on these, you see. Now with that shut, down here you can see that you have a little 2-inch receiver hitch on the back here. So if you've got maybe the kayak storage in there, or the folding chairs, or the grills, or whatever outdoor stuff you're bringing with you, you can include all that stuff on the sliding tray. And you could easily throw some bikes on that sliding tray and just slide it shut. But maybe you like bikes and kayaks and everything else. Well, this one gives you the ability to put a bike rack on the back and have that sliding tray and have the dual side access to it, and. They do a lot of ands instead of ors on the Montana High Country series. Like, they have not just a walkable roof, but walkable slide boxes. They really go all out here. Bigger 16-inch radial tires with a road armor suspension system between to give you a smoother, easier experience getting to your destination. And it wasn't too long ago, from the time of this filming anyway, that they updated to the MORryde steps on the Montana High Country series, previously found only on Big Luxury Montana. Now there's a neat little thing I want to show you on these, and to do it, we need to open this door. But that also reminds me of the fact that this is not just a wider 30-inch entry door, but it's also a taller 6.5-foot door. So, you know, it's a residential height door. Very nice for bigger fellas like me, or perhaps bigger ladies, as the case may be, where, you know, you don't have to duck going in and out all the time. But one of the questions people have on these is, are they hard to use? Are they heavy? Are they going to fall on me? Etc. And the answer, at least in the case of a Montana, is nope. Because they use the nicer MORryde 0G step system. Now there's a couple neat benefits to this. Obviously it just makes it so that it's easier to operate. Like maybe you've had rotator cuff surgery, or you got a bad shoulder or something like that. Well, you don't have to physically wrestle with this thing. The other thing is that if you do want to adjust the length of these legs, when the steps are holding themselves up, it's as easy as can be. And you can see how smoothly and how nicely these operate. So it's a much, much simpler system to be able to use, adjust, it's just better. Better every way. And I nearly forgot. I said I was going to show you how the patio space on this is kind of similar to the 380 or 381 toy hauler Montana we have next to it. This being a 380 in point of specificity. They both have really big unobstructed patio spaces, but we'll feature this one in its own separate video. I just thought, hey, as long as I have them sitting here, these are kind of sister floor plans. They both give you the ability to bring along a lot of extra cargo. They give you a nearly identical living room, just one's in the front, one's in the back, so it kind of depends on which one you like. Like I said, they're just shades apart, but they're significantly different enough that I think that, you know, this one works better for one set of customers, and the 380TH toy hauler works better for a different set of customers. So, there you have it. Give us a call. Hitching pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything in between. We do it all at Haylett RV, so you don't have to. Except for hidden dealer fees. We don't do those because we don't like those either. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.